On July 29th of last year, I constructed a giant maze that was filled with puzzles, traps, and illusions. I then had my friends compete in it to see who could traverse it the fastest, which ended up being Caden. Afterwards, they requested that I make another one, so this summer, I did. I had them compete in it on July 28th, and now I'm going to do a partial map showcase. So, without further ado, let's enter the maze. The maze is structured in a pattern where you go through part of the maze, then complete a puzzle, then go through another part of the maze, then encounter another puzzle, and so on. There are 18 puzzles total in the map. I originally wanted to include all of them in this video, but since scope creep can be a slippery slope, I'll only be going over some of my favorites. In addition to the 18 puzzles, there are 5 diamond block bonuses found throughout the map. Each one can only be collected by one person, and they're purely cosmetic. You'll usually find them by solving an additional puzzle or stumbling across a hidden area. Once you collect one, a message will show in chat, and the diamond block will turn into a coal block, signaling that it cannot be collected again. Finally, let's talk about the download information. I left a link to the world file in the description, and all you need to play it is a copy of Minecraft Bedrock Edition, which means mobile viewers can finally play something I made! I'm sure my comment section will look pristine now. I also included 2 PDFs in the description, one of which has general information about the maze, and the second has the solutions to all the puzzles and diamond blocks. If you want to try this map out yourself, go ahead. It's fully multiplayer compatible, so you can also play it with your friends. I'd recommend having anyone participating read through the first PDF so you all know what's going on. You can also decide among yourselves what rewards you want to give for placement, diamond collection, etc. One last thing. The remainder of this video, as well as the second PDF, contains solutions to the puzzles, so if you don't want to have the maze spoiled, I'd recommend coming back to this video later. Now that that's out of the way, let's begin. As stated before, I don't want to go over all 18 puzzles, so I instead picked my 8 favorites. The first puzzle that falls into this category is the third one in the maze, and I mainly created it because I like messing with people. Upon walking into the room, you'll see 4 item frames with arrows inside that can be rotated to your liking. Each item frame also has a different type of wood behind it. When you first try to solve this, it seems, well, impossible. There are 4,096 total combinations, and it doesn't seem like there's any method to solving it besides guessing. That is, until you turn around and realize the answer has been staring at you the whole time. So the main purpose of this puzzle is to both waste lots of your time and to make you feel stupid in the process.
Oh, there's arrows on the wall too. Hey, when we move on, are you spectating me?
Yeah. The next puzzle in line is somewhat similar. Instead of 4 item frames, you have 4 buttons that need to be pressed in the correct order. The catch is that each time you get it wrong, a new combination is randomly chosen. This means that every time, you have a 1 in 24 chance of getting it right. This might make it sound really time consuming, but it really isn't, because most of the time, you'll just get it wrong on the first button and be able to start over immediately. I mentioned earlier that this is the second maze I've created. In the first one, there was this puzzle where you had to jump on barriers to get to the exit, and there were colored squares on the floor that showed you where to jump. This puzzle is similar to that one, but a little more difficult. In this one, there are 8 sets of blocks, and the goal is to find the odd block out in each set. For example, if I gave you this set of blocks, the odd block out would be the cobblestone because it's not a type of wood. I'm displaying all 8 sets of blocks on screen right now, just in case you want to pause and try to guess the answers by yourself. That's enough time, so here are the answers, and here are the explanations. Each odd block out has a barrier above it that can be jumped on, and once you know all 8 solutions, you can parkour out of the room. The next puzzle is barely even a puzzle, it mainly just exists to be fun. You have a large gap that you need to somehow travel over, and next to the starting platform, there are 2 arrows, each pointing in opposite directions. Walking towards either arrow will cause it to extend the platform in the direction it's pointing. Walking into certain types of blocks can do different things to the arrow, such as stop it, rotate it, or split it into 2 directions. Using the array of blocks provided, you're able to bridge the gap and make it to the other side. Now let's move back to the difficult puzzles. In the next one over, you have to correctly answer 6 Minecraft trivia questions. They are true or false questions that can be marked true or false using these 6 levers. Once you're done, you step on this gold block to check your answers. You'll be told when at least one of your answers is incorrect, but you won't be told how many or which ones they are. Here are the 6 questions, and they're meant to be interpreted as of Bedrock Edition 1.17. I'll give you a second to pause if you want to, and here are the answers. Moving on, this is my favorite puzzle in the whole maze. It tasks you with the objective of guiding a slime block from one corner of this area to another. In order to move the slime block, you place down colored instructions on a dotted memory strip, which will be read from left to right. There are 5 different types of instructions, 4 of which move the block in a unique direction, and a 5th one that will jump back to the first instruction if it's encountered when the slime block is on a red tile. In order to solve the puzzle, you move 3 spaces to the right, 3 spaces down, and then do a reset. This will create a loop of the slime moving right and downwards until it eventually lands on the gold block. Remember that reset blocks only work if the slime is on a red tile, which is why the instructions need to be arranged in this particular way. What I've just described to you probably doesn't sound that interesting, because it isn't. The main challenge is collecting the bonus by having the slime land on this diamond block. Remember, there are only 16 slots of memory, so you'll need to use them wisely. I came up with my own solution when I first made this, and my friends came up with a completely different one, so if you solve it, I'd like to know what solution you ended up using. The next puzzle is unique because it requires you to gather information using the maze that precedes it. In the puzzle room itself, you'll see 5 symbols, each with black concrete and a stone button underneath it. As an aside, these symbols are taken from a puzzle game called Neverhood that I used to be obsessed with back in 2012, and I'm curious if anybody watching this video has heard of it. It's kinda hard for me to gauge how well known certain things are on the internet. Anyway, pressing the button will cycle through different colors of glazed terracotta, and as you probably guessed, you need to match the correct color to each symbol to win. So, how do you know which colors to use? In order to solve the puzzle, you'll need to search the maze that leads into it for 5 different glazed terracotta blocks, which will show you their corresponding symbol when stepped on. After you've found all 5 of them, or you found enough of them to brute force it, you can punch them into the combination and solve the puzzle. The final puzzle I've chosen to talk about is also the final puzzle in the maze. I've been referring to it as a puzzle for the sake of consistency, but it's less of a puzzle and more of a parkour course. Unlike most of the other rooms where you have to pass through a door to exit, this room requires you to scale this wall to get to an opening in the top of it. You start by using this green pad that gives you jump boost. It'll allow you to jump up to the first of the 3 parkour rooms. Each room leverages a different type of pad. The first room uses the green jump boost pads, the second room uses a blue speed pad, and the third room uses a pad that's a combination of speed and jump boost. After making it through all 3 rooms, you can leap up to the home stretch, after which you can walk into the finish line and complete the maze. That's the whole maze. After completing it, your time will be displayed in chat for everyone to see. You can then warp back to the previous checkpoints in case you want to search for a diamond block or just mess around with the puzzles a second time. Once everybody's finished, you can decide among yourselves whether you want to give out some reward to the winner or simply leave it as bragging rights. If you end up trying the map out, I hope you have fun with it. I certainly enjoyed making it. It's a rare instance of a project where I'm able to make something cool without it becoming too unmanageable. I'm hoping to make more command block stuff in the future, but for now I'm going to focus on other projects. So, with that being said, thanks for watching, and it's time to cue the end screen.